You did a clickbait, huh? Alright. I guess anything else? I get sued all the time. Y'all, stop it.
New drama tonight involving a controversial politician in the south suburbs. Tiffany Henyard was the only Thornton Township leader to show up for a scheduled...
You won't believe the chaos that unfolded at the latest Dalton Village board meeting. It was nothing short of explosive. Political drama is nothing new, but what went down with Mayor Tiffany Henyard will leave you stunned. Imagine this: the mayor, in the middle of a public meeting, getting arrested after triggering such an uproar that she had to be forcibly removed. Yes, you heard that right. The live broadcast of the meeting was suddenly cut off as tensions spiraled out of control, turning what should have been a routine session into something straight out of a TV drama. But this wasn't fiction. This was real life, unfolding in Dalton, Illinois.
I don't believe that is legally correct. That's just not the way municipalities operate.
Let's unpack the details because this story is packed with drama you simply can't ignore. Mayor Tiffany Henyard, already no stranger to controversy, has been butting heads with the village trustees for months. If you've been keeping up, you know her relationship with the board has been anything but smooth. Constant disputes over decisions, appointments, and just about everything else have kept the tension high. But at this most recent board meeting, those simmering tensions finally boiled over. What happened next? No one could have predicted it. The chaos hit a level of drama that even seasoned political watchers couldn't have anticipated.
Spending by a South suburban politician named Tiffany Henyard, but we only knew half the...
Eyewitnesses at the meeting described the atmosphere as electric, with tensions so thick it was nearly palpable. From the very start, it was clear something extraordinary was about to unfold. The trustees had relocated the meeting to the local Park District building, a decision made necessary by the growing crowds. Dalton's government meetings had morphed into must-see events, with Village Hall unable to legally accommodate the throngs eager to witness the escalating drama. Residents packed the venue, their motivations varying. Some were deeply concerned about the town's governance, while others were drawn to the spectacle of controversy that seemed to shadow Mayor Tiffany Henyard at every turn. But on this particular day, Henyard wasn't about to follow the script. Throwing decorum aside, she asserted herself with her signature defiance and dramatic flair, setting the stage for another fiery chapter in Dalton's unfolding political saga. Tensions between Henyard and the trustees hit a breaking point, with the mayor's behavior taking center stage. It felt less like governance and more like a reality TV showdown, with Henyard seemingly playing to the crowd rather than addressing the town's pressing issues. As the chaos unfolded, residents couldn't help but wonder, was the mayor's bold defiance a calculated power play, or just another example of her disregard for the norms of governance? This spectacle only amplified the broader concerns gripping Dalton, a town increasingly known for its political theater rather than its ability to tackle real challenges. Henyard's captivating yet polarizing approach left many questioning the sustainability of her leadership amid the mounting turmoil.
Invoices lead to more questions, and sometimes we don't get answers to those questions, and so it's not about clickbait, it's about just making sure.
Instead of joining the trustees at the Park District building for the scheduled meeting, Mayor Tiffany Henyard made a bold and controversial move. She held her own meeting back at Village Hall. It was a defiant gesture, as if to declare that she was in charge and would run things on her terms, regardless of what anyone else thought. But her plan didn't unfold as expected. Only 2 trustees showed up to her impromptu gathering, far short of the number required for a legal quorum. With no choice but to cancel her self-declared session, Henyard faced an embarrassing setback in her bid to assert dominance. However, Henyard wasn't ready to back down. Determined to make her presence felt, she jumped into her car and drove to the Park District building, where the trustees were holding the official meeting. What happened next was nothing short of dramatic. Henyard stormed into the meeting, disrupting the proceedings and commanding everyone's attention. What had been a tense but functional gathering quickly descended into chaos as her unannounced arrival stole the spotlight. The room, already thick with tension, erupted into confusion as Henyard took center stage, refusing to conform to the established order. Her dramatic entrance caused a stir among trustees and attendees alike, adding yet another chapter to Dalton's political theater. The spectacle only further underscored Henyard's contentious leadership style, one characterized by disruption and defiance. As the dust settled, the incident highlighted the growing divide between Henyard and the trustees, with the town's residents caught in the middle of an intensifying power struggle. It left everyone wondering, would Dalton's political drama ever reach a resolution, or was this just the beginning of even more turbulence?
Government always does it, is to go and...
The moment Tiffany Henyard entered the room, the atmosphere shifted dramatically. Tension spiked, an almost electric charge rippling through the crowd. Residents, already worn thin by her controversial leadership and frequent antics, reacted viscerally to her sudden, uninvited appearance at the trustees' meeting. Some attendees, unable to mask their frustration, turned their backs on her in silent protest, a stark gesture of disapproval that needed no words. Undeterred by the chilly reception, Henyard strode to the microphone with her trademark defiance, declaring, "I am the mayor of the village of Dalton," as though reaffirming her authority in a room that clearly rejected it. Before she could continue, the crowd erupted in a deafening wave of boos and shouts. The room, fueled by anger and exhaustion from the unending political drama engulfing their community, roared with discontent. Henyard's attempt to seize control of the meeting only escalated the already volatile atmosphere, with residents openly challenging her presence and motives. What had begun as a tense but orderly trustees meeting spiraled into chaos, with Henyard at its center. Her polarizing presence highlighted the deep divisions in Dalton, a town now synonymous with political discord. Attendees' frustration was palpable, their demands for accountability and effective leadership ringing louder than Henyard's proclamation. The meeting, thick with emotion and hostility, became a battleground of words and symbolic gestures. Henyard's dramatic entrance and the crowd's hostile response underscored just how fractured trust had become under her administration. Many left the meeting questioning whether reconciliation was even possible in a community so deeply divided. As Dalton continued to grapple with its turmoil, the scene served as a sobering reminder of the growing gulf between its leadership and the people it served, a gap that seemed increasingly insurmountable.
This is the super mayor, Tiffany Henyard, the people's mayor and people's...
Witnesses described a scene of utter chaos as Mayor Tiffany Henyard attempted to seize control of an already volatile trustees meeting. Her efforts were immediately drowned out by shouts, boos, and overwhelming public disapproval. Determined to assert her authority, Henyard raised her voice over the uproar, declaring the meeting illegal and demanding respect. Her stated goal was to make key appointments, including naming a new police chief, but her words were lost in the deafening rejection from an audience fed up with her heavy-handed leadership style. Tension filled the room as Henyard struggled to maintain her composure. But the hostility proved too much. After only 7 chaotic minutes, she was forced to leave, effectively booed out by the very constituents she claimed to represent. What followed was nothing short of pandemonium. Henyard stormed out of the building, visibly enraged by the crowd's rejection. The situation escalated further as reports circulated that she had allegedly become physical with one of the officials present. Gasps rippled through the stunned audience as the altercation intensified an already volatile atmosphere. Police, who had been stationed nearby in anticipation of trouble, quickly intervened to restore order. But what happened next shocked everyone. Mayor Tiffany Henyard, the self-proclaimed super mayor of Dalton, Illinois, was arrested. The arrest marked a dramatic turn of events, the culmination of a meeting that began with high stakes and ended in extraordinary consequences. Residents watched in disbelief as Henyard, a polarizing figure once positioning herself as a symbol of leadership, was led away in handcuffs. This stunning incident not only highlighted the deep divisions within the community, but also served as a sobering reminder of the mounting tensions that have come to define Henyard's tenure. As Dalton reeled from the fallout, the question remained, could the town recover from the chaos? Or was this the breaking point in its political turmoil?
The backs of taxpayers, but what do we gain from any of these trips?
The live feed of the meeting, which had been broadcasting the entire spectacle, was abruptly cut off as Henyard was taken into custody. The image of a sitting mayor being dragged out of her own meeting in handcuffs felt like something straight out of a movie, but this wasn't fiction. It was real life. So, how did we get here? To fully understand this dramatic arrest, we need to step back and look at the bigger picture. This moment didn't come out of nowhere. Instead, it's the culmination of months, if not years, of tension, chaos, and outright defiance from Henyard. Tiffany Henyard has been shaking things up in Dalton since taking office. Her tenure has been marked by one controversy after another, clashing with trustees, ignoring legal orders, and making critical appointments without board approval. Henyard has made it clear she'll do things her way, regardless of the rules or the law. Take, for example, the time she appointed a new village manager, attorney, and police chief, all without any board approval. These were major decisions that, according to local governance, required the trustees' input. But Henyard didn't bother to seek their approval. The trustees weren't about to let that go unnoticed, so they took the matter to court. A judge stepped in, issuing a restraining order that made it clear Henyard couldn't make these appointments without the board's approval. But did she back down? Not a chance. Henyard's defiance only intensified, laying the groundwork for the explosive events that ultimately led to her dramatic arrest.